y'all? It's the Normies coming at you to discuss a little bit of Legend of Vox Machina, Season 2, Episode 6, Into the Rimecleft.
Yeah. Yes. I'm the bard that goes hard, Chris. Say your name.
I am the number one sorcerer, and purple's my favorite color. Runner, you might have heard of me. The queen of the Normies. Thank you.
No, that's not what a thing.
Little so-so.
I'm Pat.
This is your druid Navi.
I'm Spidey.
This is the bard that goes hard, bitches. I'm Chris Johnson.
Bitches of Chris Johnson.
Bitches of Chris Johnson.
And I want to quote,
Yeah. So the dragon fight, Pat was saying that Grog could have took him, and I do agree with Pat. I think Grog was working the dragon, but at the end of the day, we had other team members there that we needed to evacuate. It just wasn't happening.
And I feel like you can get in front of somebody, but to stab someone with a sword takes a little more effort than me walking forward. You know what I mean? There's some thrusting involved.
If you know I was possessed, don't get in front of the sword.
Yeah, I don't think she knew he was possessed.
She saw the eyes.
I don't know. We don't know actually.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like there could have been a chance for Grog to actually take down the dragon, but also die himself.
Yeah.
Because he probably is possessed by the sword and wouldn't know where his limit is and will continue going because he wants more to a point where he might end up dying. But I don't know. We could have been one less dragon.
Yeah.
Could have been.
Could have been.
All right, then we don't have to worry about 3 more.
Yeah.
So
now we lost our best person, our best healer.
Yeah, the problem is right now we know where all the vestiges are. They're in W, like double.
One of them is Fairy Realm.
Yeah,
we don't know where they're all at. Myth Carver was going to tell them where they all were, but it only told them where that bow and arrow was.
Is
that it?
Yeah,
so that might be it, I think.
And then the sword. And then the armor. That's 4.
4?
Yeah, that's 4.
I thought there were more.
Yeah, because there's 2 more after that. So now they know where things are.
We got them, yeah.
So I'm assuming now that unfortunately we are separated from Scanlan, Grog. All of us are kind of separated now. We're all gonna go to the same place. We all have a destination. I'm assuming.
Does this remind you of Harry Potter? Like when they all got separated because they got splinched in the flu powder that one time, and then Ron went home for a while, and then he had to come back to Hermione, and he was like, "Oh, it's the light in my heart," and then that clamshell opened up and showed Hermione having sex with Harry. Remember?
Oh yeah, we remember.
That
was the necklace.
The necklace. Yeah, you just brought that up. Yeah,
that's a necklace, kind of like the armor that Vex is wearing.
Yeah.
But the beginning we started with a herd that was proud of Grog, and it seems like it's the same herd that's in Westeron.
Yeah.
And we probably has the gauntlet, so Grog will have to. So whenever that happens, that's when we kind of find out a little bit more about Grog, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I don't know.
I don't know what's gonna happen.
Give away his sword.
I hope that this is the lesson for him to give away the sword now after what happened. And I don't know, our characters are on the verge of death now. It's freaking Pike on the verge of death now.
Yeah. Which must mean that if they base this off of their campaign, maybe Grog was freaking out and they're like, roll to see if I can stop Grog, and they rolled a 2, and I was like, ooh, looks like Grog is possessed, and he stabs you with the sword.
You get hit by the stabby stab.
Yeah.
I feel like next episode he's gonna have a goofy conversation with the sword, like, why'd you do that?
No. He needs to recognize one. He gave his own blood to the sword, and then Pike's blood and dragon. Enough is enough.
Let me tell you, if I own a sword and it takes my blood, I'm throwing that bitch.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if it makes you stronger, every time it feeds.
Do I get my own strength back if it takes my blood?
I guess so.
No, it's going to keep it. It's going to withhold. You saw his arm get skinny.
But you get strong.
No, that was when it was I'll just do it myself. And
but it took Grog's blood. I'm saying, if I own something that can take my own blood from me, I'm not keeping it bitch around.
Yeah.
Because it's if you're not going to feed me, I will feed myself, and I will feed on you. It's no, you can go away. Because if it doesn't feed on me, then it might possess me to feed on people around me that I don't even know who it is.
Yeah. But the buff is times 10 strength with every strike.
But it can also control you to a point on the verge of death and not even knowing, because the sword wants to feed, and it doesn't matter what happens to you.
I don't know. Wasn't it healing him too? I feel like he's not. I feel like he can't die as long as the sword keeps getting blood. Which means he would have to be.
Because he was wearing down that dragon, bro. That was an acid dragon. He was wearing it down.
Yeah, I guess I can see that. Also, Jinwoo from Soul Leveling. if your survival is based on me fighting, then you will make sure that I stay alive
give me
to
some
continue
perks.
feeding you. Unless the sword can go on its own, like Alucard's sword. And
Yeah,
feed
I just wouldn't
itself.
want a weapon I couldn't trust.
Yes.
No, that makes total sense.
Yeah. And I thought the beginning of the episode was also really cute too, with Percy giving the jacket to.
Keelan. Oh no, to Vex. It was so cute.
That was adorable. I
He
can't
was,
wait to
like,
see what happens
blushing.
with that.
Love the Sphinx. Thought it
Yeah.
was cool.
If you
his
came
fight
up to
was cool.
Sphinx and Sphinx told you can either wound me or fight, like go in a labyrinth or fight these other Grogans, what would you pick?
Wound.
Is it me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going for wound. And I want to go for an emotional
Really?
wound. Yeah.
You as well?
Yeah.
I
Dude,
can't
I'm
fight
not going
50
through a labyrinth
Gorgons.
of misery.
What's a labyrinth?
A labyrinth is
misery.
a maze.
Maze of misery.
But if you
Yeah.
put your hand on the left-hand wall and you just follow that left-hand wall, eventually you'll get out.
You don't know.
Unless
that.
it's infinite. Then
You don't know.
I don't know. I
Yeah,
feel
that's how
like
mazes
I will
work.
try to go to a labyrinth instead of trying to wound a Sphinx.
He wasn't
You
even
could
honest
ruin
about
a
our
Sphinx.
deal either. Like, I didn't know I was going to be going down a void forever if we
Yeah.
lose. I'd rather fight the 70 Gorgons then.
I think Carolina could have won. Look, it's either labyrinth or I called it. I was like, you got to go for an emotional one. There's other ways to
Yeah.
hurt people.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have. It doesn't always have to be physical. You know, sometimes you can damage someone afar with a really strongly worded letter.
Falling forever sounds crazy.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
didn't like that. But
In the
luckily for
void.
Scanlan, though, like Scanlan and the Sphinx little Cammy, their little bro relationship for like 5 minutes was everything to me. Mm-hmm. I loved it. I'm sad he died, but like no matter what, he was never going to be able to be with Osaya. They have to be separated for the life of the world.
Yeah.
Sphinx said some interesting things because when Vex walked up, it's like, oh, you are the matron's champion. That's a heavy weight. Fortunately for you, you won't live long enough.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
you
I
said
thought that was like some
fortunately.
shit you say before, like in a
Fortunately,
fight.
to feel its weight.
You know what I
because
mean?
because being a champion, it's a heavy burden. But
Yeah.
it's like you're not gonna live long enough, so it doesn't really matter.
But I mean, I thought the Sphinx wasn't saying it like a prophecy. He was saying it like we're in a fight.
He's like,
now.
I'm gonna
It's
kill
like-
you right
Oh
now.
no!
That's how I like, you know.
I'm taking
like,
that's a
Oh,
prophecy.
I took
Okay.
it as in like he's like, yeah, like you were Death Walker's ward. That's a heavy burden being Metro's champion. But fortunately for you, you won't have long enough to live to wear its weight. So he was essentially just telling him his future with the armor. And then he said the same thing with Grog. Like you don't know where your strength comes from.
Everyone's been saying that to him. You think he'd listen now?
I feel like he recognized it for a second there until the
He
sword took
definitely did. He
over
said,
again.
"Why did you say
He's
that?"
like, why you say that to me?
Yeah.
That'd be crazy coincidence for you to hear it twice from two completely separate entities that have nothing to do with each other. You gotta start thinking about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. At that point, it was like, okay, something's being said. It's not. Yeah, the strength doesn't come from your sword. It comes from somewhere else until you find because you will have to find something else. Until he can get Gauntlet. I'm assuming he will be possessing the Gauntlet.
Yeah.
He needs
Or
to-
maybe it's Pike.
Well,
That'd be
Well,
sick.
that'd be
We saw
sick.
the sword change size, so when the dragon
Yeah.
grabbed it and when the Sphinx grabbed it, so maybe the sword can be, the gauntlets can be any size that they need to be.
And Vexalia will probably get the bow.
Definitely.
yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Because she's the number one shooter recruiter.
Yeah.
Shoot him again.
I would love for Grog to have the Gauntlet. That would be really cool.
Yeah. She.
Yeah, Nico is up to something.
Oh,
I
that's
don't know what it is.
I think this was a good one. They're broken up again. It feels weird, like story wise, that Pike got hurt again, or Pike got hurt, and now that she's going to need to be healed because we keep getting people that get hurt and need to be healed. But also, I think that's kind of the nature of the game.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, you need those.
You know, you keep rolling in and getting hurt and getting healed. Like that's just what you got to kind of do.
Yeah.
Also, maybe she could be taking like a short rest or a long rest. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
This song was everything. It was
Good
so
song.
beautifully, the visual, the song, everything. Scanlan,
Scanlan did it.
and, you know, he's supposed to
did
find his
it.
own real love one day too.
Yeah. Steady's out here slut butting around.
Slutting.
Let him
She's
stop
slutting.
running around for a while.
Yeah, but he seems sad about it. You know, just
Yeah.
because your parts fit together don't mean your hearts fit together.
Yeah, and now he needs to stop trying to go and look for things to be a slut with and find things that want to come in like
Inside of
enjoy
him.
his slut.
Yeah.
All the time.
He's still gonna be a slut.
Slut
Yeah.
Scanlan.
Still, where was? Did we see where
Realms.
the bow was? Bow
Bow's
was in the
in
Fae
Fae
realm.
Realm.
Yeah, got to know it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the gauntlets.
And the
with
gauntlets
gauntlets
are
are
in
the
Western
Western.
with the W's in it.
Well, it's a good thing they split up that they could just go, tackle it.
Yeah.
I was not expecting for the dragon to show up in this.
Yeah, me neither. I'm like, bro, seriously? How it was all
God.
Anna Ripley though.
So all right, Surge isn't here to say it, but you guys wanted to kill Ripley. We shouldn't.
Yeah, we should have
Now we
killed
all have to
Ripley.
say, if you find Ripley in a game, kill her.
Kill her!
Murk that bitch.
Like, seriously, she should
Roll
have been
20 to
killed.
kick her fucking face off.
And now she joined forces with dragons.
Which doesn't even make sense. What happens? What do you do when you join the dragons? What do I get? What's my benefit?
Immortality.
I guess not death.
Power.
Yeah, but like
Maybe they could turn you into a dragon.
No,
I'm here for that.
take it.
I'll take that.
Yeah.
Oh my god, how quickly will you guys give up your friends to be turned into a dragon?
They're not my friend.
Immediately,
Ripley
I
was
become
not
a
friends with
dragon.
them.
These
I'll make sure
people
you guys
that
don't
sit
get
on-
harmed.
It depends which friends we're talking about.
What do you mean?
We got different types of friends values out here. There's some friends that you just
Yeah.
be a dragon.
I'd give you guys a nice warm place. I'd find a beach. I'd burn it all to hell. So all the sand turned into glass.
We're gonna
You
be
guys
your
have glass
pet.
floors.
You're gonna put us in a human terrarium.
What's wrong with
You can
Spidey?
design it how you want.
Yeah, you do whatever you want. That's your space.
Terrarium to marry.
Tina to Miriam to Aquarium. Well, here we are, guys. Why don't you let us know if you'd betray your friends to become a dragon?
Yeah.
We'll see you at the next episode.
Bye.
Y'all online if you ain't.
Especially if I can shapeshift back to a human.
Everybody doing it.
You know what dragons don't have, guys?
Dicks.
Penises.
Yep.